Okay, so look, I got to give some thoughts right now. This is not my scheduled podcast time, but my thoughts just off the heart here in the paranormal, just because there's been some claims thrown up against me. Um, and what I'm seeing about one end of the utter ridiculous to the other end of the utter bold. Look, is what you personally feel about me. I couldn't give a flying fuck, frankly, on a personal level. That's fine. I'm not an expert in this field. Matter of fact, nobody is. It comes right down to the fact that in the paranormal, this is a pseudoscience. Pseudoscience. We're all just throwing our hands up in the air and we're all just trying to figure this out and using whatever means there are. Now, look, there are some memes out there that are the utter ridiculous, which is basically a collaboration of a bunch of fucking toys that were put together for what we do for immediate satisfaction. And they're fun to play with and they make you look really great. And they make people like clients be really interested in what you do, and that's really awesome and wonderful. And then you fucking go ahead and tell everybody out there that there's a flaming poltergeist coming out your ass somewhere in your home, in the basement, in your little vortex that you're going to hit. Okay, and then they're going to get all freaked out, and then you've got a client for life there that you're going in there. Hopefully you're not going in there and charging money to do that. Then you're just going in there to freak people out and make great videos and be all interesting. If you are charging money, then you're a complete utter piece of shit. You should be arrested. You're a charlatan. So getting in the middle of all of that, right? Don't charge. That's fine. Do what we all do and do it respectfully and with some integrity. Understand that none of us are experts at what we do. Never. None of us are experts. There's no fucking professionals in the world of paranormal investigation. There's no degree in what we do, as much as there's little courses that you could take everywhere here and there and look for $89.99. Now I'm a certified professional paranormal investigator. You are about as useful as a toilet scrubber. Okay, you have nothing else to be right now. As many times as I've questioned about what we do, it's the same as when you're a fucking medium or a tarot card reader or whatever. You could say you're all great at what you do and it's all important as to what you do. It's not. You're just you're a researcher. You're doing something because of your own passion and your own interest, and that's fine. Be honest with that crap. But when you're also the other end of this boat, where you're talking about, you're making bold statement claims like credibility, most experienced in the biz, best in the biz. You're going to have the most verified. None of our evidence is verified. Like we have peer review, like where we can go off of each other and kind of go, yeah, I can't seem to debunk it. That's fine. It's just evidence. It's what it is, right? Nothing is credible. There's nothing to base credibility against, regardless of how professional you think you are or how many people with how many letters after their name. Look, we've got mechanical engineers on our team and people with degrees too. It doesn't mean sweet dick, because it is what it is. And if you can't accept that every now and then somebody is going to challenge your ideas, it is that's life. Then you shouldn't be in this, because like TV shows are TV shows. None of them, they're all fucking productions. That's what they are. And what we do is pretty boring and lame. But to understand what we do needs to be challenged. Okay, I've been challenged lots over the years, and sometimes it really made me learn. I've been out there with junior teams and gotten really great ideas off them because I was too in my own head to figure out that I wasn't using certainly that method. Well, now you know what? And then years later, I had other teams who had different kinds of experience challenging me, saying, "Why are you coming up with that kind of evidence?" I got to be honest with you. If Rob Bradley from CPRI hadn't come to me, after doing investigations, him just having those why are you saying this? Why do you question this? Why do you do this experiment? It just blew my mind, right? Because I started questioning myself. Unfortunately, what we want is everybody out there making a really pretty show and all that shit. Like, if it's natural, I don't give a damn. Have a natural reaction. Something scares you, react, right? But don't make it happen. Also, don't come out with ridiculous comments about the credibility that you put forth and what makes you the best. There's no fucking best. Do you know what? Like, I may think that I've been at this for almost 30 years, and I've got some people that tell me that I know what I'm doing. I know as much as anybody out there. All right. But for as much as I might say, hey, yeah, you know what? I've got a pretty big footprint up here. Dude, there's 6,000 people in the United States and across Canada that know 10 times more than me and have been doing it longer. And every single day I'll be reading a forum or something like that, and I'll see people talking about some other dude, right? Like right now I'm reading something about Waverly Hills, and there's a lad down there I've never even heard of, but he's got like thousands of backers and fans. But I've never heard of him, right? So he's never heard of me. So I'm shit down there. He's shit to me. We're all just doing the same thing. But one of the things you also need to be prepared of in this type of business is your ideals have to be challenged. So, when I challenged somebody's ideals tonight on something that I read about their claims and how they're the most, locked in the whole business, which I think is an incredibly bold statement. My comments were deleted, which is fine. Okay. I'm not saying they're assholes. What I'm saying is I challenge your ideal. Why? Because my ideals have been challenged too. And when I say, you know what, I don't particularly care with the toys that you're using, it's because I'm challenging your ideal. And I'm saying, why? And you know what? We might have been using, say, the same equipment or not, or stopped using certain equipment, or looked at it instead of using that equipment for its evidence and proof, and you now used it to possibly beta test. Like, I'm now using this equipment, turn my mind on it, and went, maybe if this doesn't work, let's find out why it doesn't work, right? And then come to your consensus through experience, not just looking at on the face value of what your team is. Like, I could put my team together, me, and I could put Pete Wren on the same team, and put Wes Coleman on the same team, make it like this fucking, Stanley Cup playoff MVP team, right? And we might all suck shit together because all of our ideals together don't mesh. And somebody will come and challenge us. And that's okay, because you have industry experience challenging industry experience. But when you have, cowardice, where it's like, I'm going to chop that industry experience off, or start fucking rumors and making, that kind of crap, then whatever. It's petty. Anyway, so I will always challenge you when you come up with something that sounds ridiculous, as much as I expect you to challenge me or dislike my videos or say I'm an asshole because I say, candid things about things. Who cares? Like, I'm not making any money at doing what I'm doing, right? I'm just a schlep like every single one of you out there. Not one of us is any better at this than the other. Well, I mean, you're gonna say, I think some of the methods are maybe better some places, but never using terms such as like proof and credibility and the best. You know what? Like, of course I'm going to say my team's the best because it's my team, right? But that's only it. I think we make particularly sometimes very boring content for videos. Our equipment's starting to get kind of old, and my team seems to have a whole ton of internal drama until I just basically carved it out, right? So now it sounds like there's explosions going on in my basement. So I just want to get that off my chest here. Please, if I'm making issues with your toys, it's just my opinion, okay? Don't get butt hurt. You know who you are. Understand that in between teams, sometimes there's little rumor mills that go around, and how things get misconstrued and miscommunicated, and the telephone game gets played. And there's an agenda out there, you see. Because if I critique you to somebody, and that person tells somebody else, and then they tell somebody who's personally invested in that, and then they tell somebody else, well, by the time it gets around to that person, now you've got like a fucking war going on. So I'm going to comment broadly, but I just can't believe, like, it's now, since COVID's done, you've basically got a heap of teams that are out there playing a circus, and a bunch of teams claiming that they're the only ones that should be doing this. Very, very frustrating. Get fucking real, people. What we do to the seriousness of anybody in any profession is a complete joke, right? So all we can do is make it as good as we can, but take your ego out of it, all right? I'm not coming from a place of ego here, because look, I'm a short, fat guy who hardly can pay his bills. And, in 30 years of doing this, I'm got 2 or 3 viewers on YouTube. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Knock your fucking ego out of it. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. That, and I hate BMW drivers. That's it. Okay. Be well. I feel better now. It's off my chest.